40 acres adjacent to Voyageurs National Park up in northern Minnesota. This is right on the boundary waters. Like I said, really excited to roll this one out with you guys. My name is Miles McLaughlin here at Wilco Land. What we do is we buy and sell raw vacant land. That's our specialty. That's our niche here. In this video, I'm going to cover some FAQs. I'm going to go over how to access the property on your own, what I see in the property, and some potential uses for the property. So just kicking this video off with a quick disclaimer like I do for every other video. You as a buyer need to conduct your own due diligence and verify your information. In this video, I'm going to share my thoughts, what I know about the property, and just from my experience in the industry, sharing you with my due diligence. So again, we sell all of our property as is at Wilco. I'm here to help you in the process, but ultimately at the end of the day, you as a buyer need to confirm your own due diligence and make sure the property is going to be right fit for what you as the buyer want to do with the property. So just kicking this off now, looking at the photos, we can see from aerial imagery, we're up in northern Minnesota. This is a cool location. Like I said, adjacent to Voyageurs National Park. Your backyard is one of America's national parks. That's pretty cool. When I look at this property, what I think about, the property checks out. It has easy road access, right? It's got power lines running down that ditch. I don't see the ditches in Minnesota, if it's a really wet property, you'll see like flooded ditches. This property really doesn't look bad, does it? You've got a lot of good vegetation growing on the property. That signals that it's not all wetland. So this is all really good stuff, right? A lot of this property is checking out as a very usable property. So, when I think about the target audience for who's going to buy this property, it's somebody who wants a camping spot. Maybe you want to bring the RVs up there. Maybe you want a hunting property, right? Maybe you just want a recreational oasis for you and the family and the friends to enjoy, right? Being up in northern Minnesota on the boundary waters. Other potential ideas, you could potentially build a cabin out here. Obviously, you need to go through the county, you need to get septic approval and all that good stuff. You'll have to put a well in. So that'll be a process, right? And I don't know how that process looks for this property. So every property is going to be different when you go to develop, and everybody's development plans are different. We sell a lot of properties where people are just doing like dry cabins now. They're just running power to the property. They have a sleeping quarters. Maybe they have a holding tank for water, but they're not doing a lot of, your traditional development. They're using these properties as like off-grid hunting escapes and recreational escapes for weekends and things like that. So again, so that's the photos. That's, giving you a bird's eye view of the property. I touched on utilities. There's no city utilities up here. This is up in northern Minnesota. If you're going to do or if you're going to build someday, you'll need a septic system. Or if you want a septic system, you'll put one in. Otherwise, you put a well in for water. But like I said, the target audience probably isn't looking for that traditional building right away. There's tangible use to the property as a recreational land investment today, right now, right? You clear some spaces for RVs. You get some campsites going, put some yurts up, put some tiny homes, put some off-grid cabins up, just things like that. So we see a lot of that, especially out on the West Coast, and in the mountains out in the Rocky Mountains. So just looking at a location here, I'm just simply using the GPS coordinates. I'm going to talk about how you can go visit this property on your own and do some of your own homework as well. But we're up here at the boundary waters. Like I said, Voyageurs National Park is your backyard. This body of water leads into one of the larger bodies of water as well. So I do want to show, I think there are street views right here. So we can drop down and actually look at street views of the property. So I thought that was pretty cool. The previous owner said they did put some sort of driveway in. This might be it, right? I don't know exactly the property outline. We can get on Google Earth and look at it. You can see on Google Earth, there is some sort of, almost driveway going into the property, it looks like, from right here. So that's kind of an interesting feature. And I guess I'm not seeing it there for some reason. So I don't know how updated that street imagery is. That could just be, some sort of wetland feature as well. But that's, I guess, is an unknown to me. But you can still look down here I think this is the northwest corner of the property here. This is probably your best access point down here. Put some sort of driveway in. Otherwise, you're looking at a flat property out here in Minnesota. And the next thing I want to do is pull up the coordinates. So as we go through here, the property zoning's right here. Camping's allowed. Like I said, this might be a good spot for an RV, a good campsite, maybe yurts, tiny homes, things like that, or just a hunting, like kind of an untouched hunting property. So when it comes to viewings, for those who want to go visit the property, make sure you're using GPS coordinates to view it. And I like to use Onyx Maps when I do my viewings. So all I'm doing is plugging GPS coordinates into Onyx Maps. Again, I'm using Onyx Maps as my favorite app for hunting and outdoor recreation and getting into the backcountry. You can save and download maps before you go out there so that if you lose cell phone connection, you have that on your phone. But we can see the property here outlined. I have the elite version, which is about $100 a year, and I think they do a free week trial, so you can also use that. But you can see the Voyager. What's cool about Onyx is it shows like trail systems and whatnot too, and public land. So Voyager snowmobile trail goes in through this property, so people are using these properties out in the winter. We know that there's winter recreation out here as well. It's not just summertime retreat. A lot of people go hunting up here in the fall too. So, and then you can see your backyard is Voyageurs National Park. And maybe there's some sort of trail system that Onyx is identifying here. I highly doubt this is a real trail. Sometimes Onyx just picks up game trails, or maybe the previous owners had used this trail and it's kind of roughed out. But there probably is no, this probably isn't really a trail in all reality. So. And I don't have a lot else, to show you on Onyx Maps here. You can see you can access Voyageurs from right here. You can access Voyageurs right here too. So this is actually the state forest, excuse me. And then there's some more trails coming here that you can access public recreation doing. So a hike and ski trail right here that goes for 22 miles right outside your front door. That's really cool. And then just to the south of this property, so across a road is state forest. That's what's pretty special about this property is you're just surrounded by public land, just in your front yard, in your backyard. This is all, like I said, state forest. So that's a really cool feature that we have to look at. This is more state forest. So again, you have private ownership, and there's very little private ownership available for people to have up here. So you don't see a lot of property like this come for sale. I did want to pull up the area on Zillow as well. I think we're extremely competitively priced at $99,000. We'll aggressively drop the price. We move our land fast. So if you are in the market, let us know. Maybe we can get something done on a number that makes sense for both sides. But if I go up to like Duluth, Minnesota, and I look at Zillow for this area, I just wanted to point out how competitive our pricing is, and that's our business model. We buy and sell land. Fast, we have to reinvest that cash. We can't just sit on properties. We'd run out of cash. So our business is buying and selling. We do offer a lot of good land deals because we have to sell them fast. And you can see here's Voyageurs, and here's the road that our property is on. Our property sits about right here on the map. And I was just going to show you, here's 35 acres with a deer stand up here. That's been on the market for $170. So that is a comparable sale. That's actually a pretty good comparable sale. There's just some little 6,000 square foot camping lots out here along this road system too. I'm assuming they might have power run to them for $60,000, but that's 6,000 square feet, and we're selling 40 acres for about 30,000 more. So like I said, we're going to be really competitively priced up here in terms of getting a deal done. So I'm excited about the property. Hope you guys are too. If you have any questions, get with me. Again, my name's Miles McLaughlin at Wilco Land. Our niche is buying and selling vacant land and more of an as-is model. So when it comes to viewings, feel free to go up there on your own. I do have other properties up in Minnesota. I've got some land that's sitting on the Mississippi River down in Aitkin, Minnesota. Those would be fun recreational properties too. So like I said, get with us if you have questions or want to look at another property. Thanks for tuning in.